Hey guys, it's Joe, the Joe Madden Sports Podcast. I'm joined this afternoon by Dubs Anderson, host of Talk Golfing to Me. You can find him on Sports Grid, Props US, and Talk Golfing to Me. Man, I was gonna say the other one. It was coming out, and then I had to correct myself there, Dubs.
Well, that's the best way to do it, Joe. Talk dirty to me, talk golfing to me. Clean golf shoes, dirty bets, filthy Wednesdays. This is what it's all about. Cashing big tickets in the sports, Joe. You know how we do. And as I touched on before we came on here, this is the highlight of the day. Bar none, chopping it up with you. We got a couple of great events in the golf this week. The John Deere Classic for the PGA Tour. You know what? Maybe I lied there. That's a big statement saying that's a really good event. We'll touch on that one in a minute. The field is not strong. We got the Live guys kicking it off here stateside up there in Portland. We've got Wimbledon. A lot of great things on grass this week, but notably the golf, of course. Joe, always a pleasure.
Absolute pleasure. Filthy Wednesday. Never heard anyone call it that.
There you go.
That is a new one. Definitely going to be using that for a while. So most people just call it Hump Day. Filthy Wednesday sounds like a lot more fun, Dubs, here. Let's talk this Live. We're seeing more big names going over to the Live. What are your thoughts on this? What are your thoughts on this tournament? It's going to be in Portland for this one.
Yeah, look, Joe, I mean, a month ago, I was like, no, this thing hasn't got legs. It's never going to survive. Then they get one big name. They get a couple of big names. And here I am this week saying the event they've got up there in Portland at Pumpkin Ridge is far better than what we're seeing on the PGA Tour. I mean, this week for the John Deere Classic, the headliners are Webb Simpson, Jason Day, Sahith Theegala. People are saying, who? Those guys? They were big 5 years ago. Let's take a look at the Live Golf event. Dustin Johnson, Phil Mickelson, Bryson DeChambeau, Patrick Reed, the latest additions, Paddy Perez, Carlos Ortiz, Abraham Answer. It's an absolute who's who. But again, it still feels like an exhibition format. The PGA Tour, they're trying to counter, come on the front foot here. They've announced an alliance with the DP World Tour, the European guys. That's great. It's a pathway, but for me, it's a little too late, Joe. I mean, last week, Jay Monahan, the PGA Tour commissioner, we're now going to do exactly what the Live Golf Series is trying to do. We're going to have a mini-series of events, $20 million prize purses, no cuts. That's great. Where'd you find $160 million? You've been sitting on it because they make billions through broadcast, Joe, but they never want to give it to the players, and that's why a lot of these guys have jumped ship. Now we go up to Portland. These guys, they don't even have to win or finish in the top 10 to get paid. They get paid just for being there. I mean, Absolutely. 54 holes, 48 golfers, no cut. They're playing some great golf courses. Apparently the locals up there, they're not part of it. But hey, here it is. I thought maybe it wouldn't get the legs, but it is here to stay. And that is a fact. And right this week when we got a couple of great events, I'm going to say maybe some people are going to start to tune in to the Live Golf event. And now you can bet on it. You know the story, Jay. We got tickets on it. We're going to watch it. Big names, star power. You set it up in Portland this week for sure.
Yeah, it's going to be a really fun. And like you said, if you can bet on it, people will be watching it. People watch table tennis during the pandemic. So that's where things go. We're seeing golfers say they're getting a better life balance here, going with the Live Tour, able to be home with their families much more. So this is coming down to more than just money for these players joining this.
Yeah.
Let's talk the John Deere. It's kicking off tomorrow. What are your thoughts on this? Like you said, we don't have the big names in this. Have you got anyone in the top 10 you're really looking at?
Look, I think it's a week for opportunity, Joe. Like the same for the Live thing. I mean, to stay away from the top of the board. We turn it to the John Deere Classic. I'm going to say it's a C- in terms of field strength, but it's a good chance for some of these young guys who have been knocking on the door. So for me, I look at form. Who's been showing up on these leaderboards the last 4 or 5 weeks? That's what it's going to take to get it done here. TPC Deer Run, super low winning mark, probably 21, 22 under par if you will. I don't mind the guy who finished runner-up there last week, Sahith Theegala. We got him at 150 to 1 last week, Joe. He finishes runner-up. I mean, don't even get me started. I had the box of Kleenexes out. I was absolutely crying my eyes out on Sunday night. Now this week he shows up at 27 to 1. Sahith Theegala, a young guy, first season on the PGA Tour. I absolutely love that play. I like a local favorite, Nick Hardy. Hardy by name, Hardy by reputation. Another young guy here, not afraid to win. He's played at this golf course back in 2017. He made it through the weekend as an amateur. I like what I've seen in the last couple of weeks. A good finish there at the Travelers last Sunday, a top 15 at the US Open. I'm looking for value. I'm looking for opportunity this week. If you want a bit more value in your life, don't sleep on the South African ATM machine. Christian Bezaden out the bazooka. Nice. You can get him at 33 to 1. good value, Joe. That's where I'm looking this week. Form, course history, stay away from the top of the board. Boring.
Yeah, don't be boring. That's for sure. Looking at this live, anyone you're looking at here in this tournament to take it all. And what do you think of this course up in Portland?
Look, it's a great little course. Not a long track, but for me, I'm looking more at the intangibles this week, Joe, instead of the key metrics up there in Portland, because these guys go from not playing a lot of golf to showing up for a wacky exhibition style format. What do we know about the Live Series? There's no cut. They play as a shotgun start. So I think this one is a perfect opportunity for someone trying to get that breakthrough win. I look at the big names. They've already been paid, what, $125 million, $200 million. What's the incentive for them to try and win this event? What's the incentive for them to grind on their golf game the last couple of weeks? There is none. They're showing up. They're partaking. That's what it's all about. So I like the value. I look at a guy like Kevin Na. I mean, he's going to beat you in a game of Scrabble, a game of marbles. He shows up to this one, shorter golf course. He's a shorter hit. You can find him there at 18-1. I like Matty Jones, good short game at 33-1. Then I'm going to throw in another Aussie, a young guy, Jediah Morgan at 250-1, because the biggest thing that holds these young guys back, Joe, over the weekend is on the PGA Tour. Okay, I'm now playing in the last couple of groups. It's my tournament to lose. All the cameras are on me. All the fans are watching me. Not here for the live. It's a shotgun start. Everyone tees off at the same time. So you're going to see a lot of movement on the leaderboard, but you avoid that pressure. No one knows who is the leading group out in the golf course. And again, for these young guys, they're absolutely motivated. Maybe they're only getting paid $200K, $500K to show up. It's still a lot of money, but they play a lot of golf. Jediah Morgan, a guy who did it at the amateur level, at the pro level back in Oz. We saw him there at the US Open. I like his golf game, 250-1. Smaller field, less pressure. You have to go the value play. And because, look, how's the book handicap it? They go off, what have these guys done? Who's got the major victories? Where are their world ranking standings? That does not apply for the Live Golf Series. Dustin Johnson, I'd be surprised if he's picked up the golf clubs more than the old fishing rod the last month or so.
Yeah, absolutely. Got to love going for a player that's going to be hungry to come out here and prove his worth on this course. Dubs, when was the last time you played marbles on the playground?
It's probably been 2.5 days. I got in a very intense game with a couple of 6-year-olds there on Monday, Joe. I did end up beating them for, I think it was close to $200. So, look, this is what Dubsy's life's all about. I'm going to gamble. I'm going to play anything where I can win a bit of money, Joe, because money won is a lot sweeter than money earned. So if I can beat up on someone on the golf course, playing marbles, maybe race them to the end of the street, I'm going to do it because that's what life's all about, Joe. Double that money, make a couple of stacks, and that's what we're doing here on a Wednesday.
Race into that corner. You tripping the person beside you, giving them a little push, or are you playing nice and fair?
No, I'm a complete coward, Joe. I'm probably going to fake a hamstring injury if they get off to a hot start. Then when they come to check me, I'm going to yank him to the ground and say, see ya, a win's a win. The rules do not apply. But, Joe, I've got to ask you, if you had to take on Dubsy, what's a board game? What's something you think you'd like your chances against me at?
Damn, I don't know.
So I can start practicing. Is it Scrabble?
No,
is it marbles?
It's definitely not Scrabble. Scrabble's one of those games I sit there and I think way too much, trying to go for the best word.
Okay.
I think I'd have to play you at a game like Crib. How are you at that?
Don't even know it, but I've got the vibe of Crib. Sounds like maybe we get a little gangster, little ghetto. Is that where I'm going, or am I totally off the mark?
No,
there?
It's totally like old school. Like you count like numbers to 15 and stuff. It's just really basic. I play a mean game of Snap though, and 52 pickup. No one can pick up those cards faster than me. So
see, you would have me there, Joe. I've got very slow reaction time. It's probably why I wasn't a better athlete. I've got those slow twitch fibers. So if I see it, I'm like, okay, and then the hands are like 2 seconds behind me. It's same out in the golf course. I hit it maybe 260. I could hit it 360 if I had the old fast twitch fibers going. Dubsy, just born without it. You can't have everything, Joe, right?
Yeah, you can't. Maybe we'll have to play a good game of Mousetrap then. That sounds like a fun one to play against you.
Yeah, love it.
Oh, okay, let's talk some tennis. Wimbledon is going on right now. This is a long, drawn-out process for Wimbledon. 14 days. We've already seen some big people go down. Serena Williams, out of it now. What are your thoughts here, Dubs?
Look, I think it's a wacky week, a wacky year, I should say, for Wimbledon. There's no ranking points this year. The Russians aren't allowed to compete. The Belarusians aren't allowed to compete. So already we're missing a lot of big names. For Serena Williams, I mean, let's take the hat off and bow to one of the greatest of all time to both do it on the tennis court, off the court. What a great role model. Now 40 years of age. I mean, she was always up against it. Hasn't played in 12 months, coming back from injury. Played a doubles, event in the lead up to this. But again, what we saw out there yesterday, a little slow. The first serve lacked a bit of pace. And how do you win on grass? Well, you've got to have that power game, which, Serena has done here in the past famously with so many wins next to her name. But the serve was a little slow. The second serve was completely missing. So a bit of a surprise for her to go out in the first round there. I didn't expect her making much of a run, but I really hope it's not the end of an era. I'd love to see Serena with another 12 months under her belt, a bit more, match fitness, if you will. And I think she could definitely come back and be a factor. We look at the women's side. I mean, Ash Barty, your former world number one, she surprisingly retired earlier this year. And we go, who's going to be the big name who comes and takes on the sport? Well, it's Iga Swiatek for me. 36 wins on the trot here. Not a great record on grass, but has won Junior Wimbledon before. But right now, the hottest on the women's side of the draw. But I'm not afraid to go the value. I mean, Emma Raducanu there got bounced out. I think Coco Gauff at 14-1 is still a great play. On the men's side of the draw, I mean, it's all going to be about the GOATs. We've got Serena on the female side, but I mean, arguably Djokovic, Rafael Nadal, obviously Federer is not playing, but the Joker's won the last three coming into this one. There's absolutely no value on him, Joel. Plus 150. I mean, the tennis is wacky because you can play really good, get bounced down the first couple of rounds, and then someone gets an easier draw and makes it all the way through the final 16, the semifinals. Again, you need the power game. Nick Kyrgios, the young Aussie, you can still get him at 25, 29-1, depending what book you're looking at. He's been playing fantastic this season. He's an absolute wild card, Joe. I mean, he was in trouble out there again yesterday. He was spitting at fans. They're heckling him, but he thrives on that.
Spitting at fans? What the hell's he doing out there, Doug?
He's an absolute madhouse. I mean, he serves underarms at Wimbledon. Have you seen anything like it? But look, when he's on, and he really gets up for playing against the best in the world. I think it's a good value. Casper Ruud actually got bounced out there this morning. That was a bit of a surprise packet for me. And look, Rafael Nadal chasing the calendar slam, if you will. He's already won the first two out of the four, going for three in a row, plus 550. It's not bad, but this is where tennis is at, Joe. Are we going to see Serena Williams back at one of the Grand Slams? For Rafael Nadal, who's arguably now the GOAT with 22 slams next to his name, he's got that foot injury. There's only so long these guys can keep fighting. But for right now, on the men's side, the Joker, Nadal, great to see these guys still cutting it up.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be a fantastic one here. We've got lots of great matchups. Anyone that you're looking at, you think that's going to surprise us? I know you seem kind of biased towards the Aussies here, always throwing out these Aussie names. Got to tell you that. As an Aussie, I don't care. So, but any other Aussies that you're looking at or anyone else?
No, look, Kyrgios is the boy for me. And maybe it's because I'm a bit of a maverick myself, Joe. I like that these guys don't do it the traditional way. They're going to go out there and do their own way. On the men's side, Carlos Alcaraz, I mean, at the ATP level this year, he has been sensational. 19-year-old Spaniard. If you say who is next in line to take the mantle from Nadal, Djokovic, and Federer, obviously, Carlos Alcaraz. I mean, this guy has got it all. Sort of unproven on the grass court. Didn't play a lot of lead up coming into this, which concerns me. But again, at 16-1, the year he's having, the confidence he plays with, he's already rolled Nadal and Joker. He's not afraid of the big names. It's at such a young age, looks really mature out there on the court. So Carlos Alcaraz, definitely a name to watch.
Okay, fantastic. Dubs, where can everyone find you and everything that you have going on?
Look, you can always find me at the sports bar. I like to drink there. I like to have my happy hour meals there. But on social media, Joe, at Mr. Dubsy across all platforms. Love what I'm doing. Talk golfing to me over there at Props. And, of course, the Sports Grid Network. You'll see your boy chopping it up. I'm like the other guys, all the other sports which aren't the mainstream, the ponies, the tennis, the golf, anything played on grass, Mr. Dubsy. But Joe Madden, you're one of the greatest to do it here. Always a blast. On a Wednesday, what a way to get the hump day underway. Back in winners with you, Joe.
What's the drink on the menu for Filthy Wednesdays tonight, Dubs?
Long Island iced tea. I'm trying to watch my figure, Joe.
Ooh.
I want to buzz, and I want to do it with as little drink consumed as possible. So I'm all about that high potency. Long Island iced tea. Get the party started. I said, yeah.
Yeah. Get the party started. I found Arizona iced teas this previous weekend. They are delicious, but they have all the calories. So
you know how it is. You know how it is. Low cal, low investment, heavy bets, high return. That's what we're
Yes.
all about.
Absolutely. Best of luck in all of your bets today, on all of your shows, Dubs. Keep crushing it in this industry. Love everything that you have going on. It was a pleasure to have you on again today.
Always a good time, Joe. I look forward to doing it again. Let's back some winners. They're teeing off tomorrow. Go and get those tickets in.
Absolutely. Cheers, Dubs.